Father, would you put your words upon my lips? The Revd Steve Morris here, and we are still working our way through some of the great ancient prayers of the Celtic Christians. These again come from Alexander Carmichael's great book, Carmina Gadelica. He wrote them down as he was travelling around and meeting people. In fact, he was a tax collector up in the Highlands, so I'm not sure he was the most popular guest, but let's have this one. It's rather gorgeous. As thou art the shepherd over the flock, tend thou us to the cot and the fold. Sain us beneath thine own glorious mantle, thou shield of protection, guard us forever. Be thou a hard, triumphant glaive, to shield us securely from wicked hell, from the fiends, and from the Steve Snell gullies, and from the lurid smoke of the abyss. Oh, well, that's no good. Father, would you put your words upon my lips? Hello and welcome. It's the Revd Steve Morris here, and we are working our way through some of the great ancient prayers of the Celtic Christians. They come from a book called Carmina Gadelica, which was put together by a tax collector called Alexander Carmichael, who used to travel around in the Highlands back in the late 1800s and would meet the simple folk from the Highlands and from the islands, and he would write down the prayers that they had, realising that they had been passed down through the centuries. This one is a prayer for protection. As thou art the shepherd over the flock, tend thou us to the cot and the fold. Sain us beneath thine own glorious mantle, thou shield of protection, guard us forever. Be thou a hard, triumphant glaive, to shield us securely from wicked hell, from the fiends, and from the lurid smoke of the abyss. My soul is in the trustance of the High King. Michael the Powerful is in charge of my soul. Well, it goes without saying that it's an absolutely wonderful, beautiful prayer. And there's depth there. We need to kind of get into the detail of it and understand some of the old Gaelic words that we have here. It begins with that greatest image of all, I think, probably of God the shepherd guarding over the flock. And of course, the important thing then is to realise that we need guarding. You know, I used to think I was just such an individualist, but I'm happy to be part of the flock as long as I know that the shepherd can be trusted. I'm better off for it. The prayer asks for protection over the cot and the fold, and then goes on to say, keep us as a kind of cloak above everything else, a shield of protection. And I don't know what you think, but I think the older I get, maybe, the more I have that sense of wanting to be protected, needing protection, knowing that the world's a very difficult and a dangerous place. And I need looking after. He goes on to use the image of the hard, triumphant glaive. Now, a glaive was a kind of pole with those a knifey thing on the other end. It was one of the great weapons of war. And they didn't really hide away from this sense of the battle that we all face. They also had a strong sense of wanting to be saved, wanting to be safe, wanting to be in heaven. And we get this as well. And I just love the ending. My soul is in the trustance of the High King. Yes, my soul is there too. And also Michael, the powerful, the great angel, the archangel, the extraordinary strength of that angel is there to help us and to guard us. And so today, if you're feeling in need of some protection, why not listen again to this prayer and then offer it up to God. As thou art the shepherd over the flock, tend thou us to the cot and the fold. Sain us beneath thine own glorious mantle, thou shield of protection, guard us forever. Be thou a hard, triumphant glaive, to shield us securely from wicked hell, from the fiends and from the lurid smoke of the abyss. My soul is in the trustance of the High King. Michael, the powerful, is in charge of my soul. Amen.